with all mainstream politics in the UK misleading people, and none of them have changed anything in the past. You only have to look at what Labour have done in the past to see what damage they've done to democracy and to people's lives. Liberal Democrats are probably the best chance we've got at the moment, but from what I can see, all politics is the same in the UK at the moment, and the entire system and the structure of the system has got to change and be more people-friendly. A united Europe is a united world. It's about time the government stopped trying to wreck the country and do away with Brexit altogether. Bring the world together. The UK is the most criminalised country in Europe anyway, and it'll get worse if Brexit goes through. The UK has become an international farce with Brexit. It's become racist, it's become sexist, and it's breaking up the country. It's making everybody angry and abusive towards each other. Got to stop Brexit altogether. Unite the country. Unite Europe. So what does Brexit mean to you, if you don't mind me asking?
Right.
What does Brexit mean to you?
What does it mean to me?
Yeah. You're saying bollocks to Brexit?
Yes. It means the disintegration of the Euro community.
Well, I think we could be taken over by America the way things are going if we're not careful, because we'll be buying into America.
I think Boris Johnson and what's his name in the States are
Trump.
very similar.
Do you know Boris Johnson had an American passport? He probably still has, unless he's handed it in. Yeah. So he's got a lot of interest in America, and Brexit is making the UK racist, sexist, and it's breaking down. It's making people angry and abusive towards each other.
People are very angry.
Yeah, same here. Thank you very much. So I heard that Anne Widdecombe might stand for Brexit Party in Plymouth, she's a nutter anyway, and it'll just make things 10 times worse. A united Europe is a united world. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Once more, we shall overcome. Come on, we shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Have a peaceful protest. Have a peaceful protest. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. And can I just give a big thanks and a big shout out, please, to PL1 Events, the van behind the stage here with our wonderful PA. Without them, you wouldn't have been able to hear Terry's dulcet tones bellowing out across the sundial. So, thank you, we think, PL Watt. And our next speaker is Peveril Councillor Sarah Allen. Sarah, over to you.
Thank you, Johnny. Hello, Plymouth.
Hello, Sarah!
I have to say, I normally don't mind public speaking at rallies, anything like that. But because of the toxic background to politics as they are at the moment, I'm actually absolutely bricking it up here. But it's so nice to see everybody, all the different viewpoints, all the different groups here being represented. As Luke said to me when I first stood for election, the thing with politics, something to bear in mind, Sarah, let's just not be dicks to each other, and I think that's a really, really important lesson to learn. I've served Peveril Ward in Plymouth for 3 months now. It's been a steep learning curve. I'm out on the doors every week speaking to residents. Views out there are very divided, and I have to say, Boris's decision to prorogue Parliament is an absolutely shocking abuse of power and democracy. Whether you're a Remainer, a Leaver, Brexiter, Lexiter, I think we can all agree that this is an absolute affront to democracy and, you know, the slippery slope to a dictatorship. As a representative of Plymouth City Council, I am really pleased to welcome everybody here today. It's so nice to see so many people despite the rain. I'd also like to draw attention to the fact that it's the 60th anniversary of Plymouth Indoor Market, which is really popular. They do some amazing stuff, and I can definitely recommend the Need Pizza if you're all feeling peckish.
Over the last couple of years, from Barnstaple to Torbay, from Plymouth to Seaton, a lot of the campaigning and rallying work has been done by Devon for Europe, part of the Britain for Europe campaign. So our next speaker is Peter Sturgis from Devon for Europe.
Hey, it's good to see so many people here, both Leavers and Remainers, because the most important thing today is that we are here to stop the coup. Now, as you can tell from the clothes that I'm wearing, I'm probably a Remainer, aren't I? You know, it's pretty obvious. Are there people from the Lib Dems here? Yeah. Extinction Rebellion? Labour Party? Green Party? Conservatives? One. Oh. But really, what we're all here to do is to stop the coup. Now, I don't want to talk about Brexit, I don't want to talk about Remain, I don't want to talk about Leave. But I would like to talk about some of the techniques that we have used in Devon for Europe about our campaign. We go out week after week, we talk to people. We do street stalls, we do demos like this, we do rallies, we even write to our MPs. In fact, Luke here is really tired of me writing to him all the time. and he does reply. But the most important thing is that we're here to stop the coup. Because imagine what would happen if this stopping Parliament to get things through actually became the order of things. Imagine LBGT. Could they take away LBGT rights simply by stopping Parliament, passing it through, and then going? Yeah. And Widdicombe might do it, yeah. And, you know, other things. I mean, could they actually bring back death penalty by proroguing Parliament? It's really important that we stop this coup, that our experience is that we democratically campaign to stay, to influence our elected MPs. Not ordinary people, but the MPs. They have a very special role. They are the voice of the people. We elect them, and we expect them to stand in the Houses of Parliament, and we expect them to have their voice. And to remove their voice completely is bad. It's not good for me, it's not good for you, it's not good for our families, it's not good for our friends, it's not good for our country. So what I'd like everyone to do is to take stock. Today, we've got people here, people in Exeter, people all around the country working hard to stop this coup. They're engaging in peaceful protest in order to stop it. Let's do it. It's down to you, it's down to everyone here. Write to your MPs. There'll be a rolling programme of protests around the country. Get involved in them. Write to the papers. But above all, make your voice heard. Stop the coup.
Thank you, Peter. And as Peter said, we're represented by people from many political parties and none. And now to speak from the local Liberal Democrats, please give a hand for Seema Devarian.
Good morning. I'm quite nervous, a bit like Sarah said a moment ago. We know that it's quite a toxic environment to be talking about this issue, but in my day job, I'm a school teacher, and I feel so strongly about this that I have been invited along by Luke and the other organisers, so thank you, and just want to speak alongside everyone else. Democracy is under attack. It doesn't matter whether you voted, or which way you voted in the referendum, and you know probably the Liberal Democrat position on this, but my concern is that we are living in a situation where just one man, maybe surrounded by a couple of other people, are controlling Parliament. They're not allowing Parliament to have a voice, and this is incredibly dangerous. We have been criticising MPs for the last few years about the things they do, but now they're being stopped from doing anything at all. So I just want to say that it's really fantastic to see so many people here in a peaceful protest, and there are protests around the country from Inverness to Penzance coming together to talk about democracy, because this isn't business as usual. This is suspending Parliament in these circumstances is incredibly wrong. We're at a crisis point in the history of the United Kingdom. Boris Johnson's chosen to shut down Parliament. To do what? To scare us, to scare MPs, to scare other people outside of the UK. He can't secure any kind of agreement if he doesn't allow politicians to scrutinise a deal. We can't make progress. We can't move forward as a country, which I'm sure we're all yearning to do now in some way or another. We want to move forward and to make progress. So what Boris Johnson is doing is unconventional, it's wrong, it's an attack on democracy. And if one man thinks that he can control Parliament and try to force through a programme in this way, then what will happen next time? If we allow this to happen once, what will it be next time that's under attack? So this isn't a Netflix box set or a piece of fiction. This is happening now in our country. Whatever you think, we cannot allow one man to control our Parliament. It's there for all of us, it's our voice, and he cannot shut it down. Resist the coup. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Seema. And just before the next speaker, somebody who won't be speaking this afternoon, we have James Stevenson in the crowd today, who is one of the local people who really pushes on the Yellow Rose campaign. If you've not heard of the Yellow Rose campaign, it's about protecting the rights and the freedom of movement of European Union citizens not British ones, European Union citizens in the UK and United Kingdom citizens in Europe. The yellow rose is a symbol of friendship, a symbol of international solidarity and support. So if you see Jane, she has a wonderful bouquet of yellow roses around her neck, and she has a bag of yellow roses. So do try and find her later and push forward the Yellow Rose campaign. And indeed, of course, in these days, it also has a hashtag. Our next speaker is from the local Green Party. So can I introduce Ian Poyner?
Hello Plymouth. It's fantastic to be invited here today by Luke and the organisers of the event. And it's absolutely brilliant to see so many people coming out to defend democracy, which is so valued in our nation. And some amazing placards as well, even Mr. Blobby over there, which is coming out to protest today, which is absolutely fantastic. Boris gives me a crinkly bottom. I love that. Brilliant. Our South West MEP, Molly Scott-Cato, couldn't be here today, unfortunately. She's at a similar event in Gloucestershire and making her way to Parliament Square later on as well. But she has given me a statement that she'd like me to read out today, which I'll be honoured to do so. Our country is in the grip of a power grab by a dishonest and self-serving elite hell-bent on forcing through and damaging... so I'll start that again. Our country is in the grip of a power grab by a dishonest and self-serving elite hell-bent on forcing through a damaging crash-out Brexit. We've never seen such a greater assault on our parliamentary sovereignty in modern times, and it's now clear that take back control was code for a illegitimate coup. But we must not despair. We must act now. This is time for all Democrats from across the political divide, and that includes those that voted Remain or Leave. We must stand together in defence of our democratic rights, and the people to take to the streets, write to their MPs on the strongest possible terms and sign petitions. Democracy cannot and will not be silenced. And let's just make full use of today. It is our right to protest, and it's great with people coming out, expressing their views. So go out, be as one together, have a great day, and enjoy Plymouth. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Ian. And next up, as we all know, workers' rights, employment law, always important things, and always under threat from the situation we face in now. So, having provided us with a lot of support to get today organised from the GMB, can I introduce Matt Roberts?
Friends, whatever happens from the Brexit process, Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg and Nigel Farage are still going to be very rich men with a comfortable standard of living. Unfortunately, for ordinary people in Plymouth, we could potentially be hit hard by the effects if this does all go badly wrong. This is why we need our Parliament doing its job, scrutinising and challenging the executive. The effects could be from anything from manufacturing to groceries to all areas of our lives, and we need to make sure that we have scrutiny, fair challenge, fair process and democracy. We need to defend our economy, defend our jobs, and we need to get the best outcome from this whole saga from the last 3 years that we possibly can. Parliament must do its job and we must defend democracy. Thank you.
Please give him a very friendly welcome. He's not very used to public speaking. Can I introduce our local MP for Plymouth, Sutton and Devonport, Luke Pollard.
Hello Plymouth. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for coming together. Thank you for standing up for our democracy, whether you voted Remain, you voted Leave, or you didn't vote. Because our democracy is imperfect. Our politics is rubbish. But our democracy is the only democracy that we have. And when we let it go, it's gone. You are all here today for different reasons. There'll be some people here today because they want to stop Brexit. There'll be other people here today because they voted to take back control, and that means having it in a parliament that sits. There'll be other people here today because they are angry about austerity. There's other people here today because they want action on the climate crisis, and they know they don't get that when Parliament's not sitting. Whatever your reason for being here today, we need to remember that, because in the weeks ahead, we will be told that disbanding Parliament, suspending it, proroguing it, a word that many of us never really knew until only a few days ago, is normal. That this is just the normal way of business. We are told about that by government ministers who only a few months ago were saying it would be an attack on our democracy, a betrayal of what the D-Day soldiers fought for. We were told that it would be a political and constitutional crisis, and yet today we're told it's all the same. Nothing to worry about. Well, do you know what? It is something to worry about. We should be concerned. You are right to be here. You are right to be angry, and we will not be going away. We will not have our voices silenced by the right-wing media or by rich government ministers who will be okay under any circumstances. We are here and we are staying. Now I want to thank all the political parties who have spoken today. Cross-party working is important. It is more important than ever before that people put aside their political differences and come together to defend our politics, our democracy. And that's why I want to say thank you to Seema from the Lib Dems. Thank you to Ian from the Greens. Thank you to the people from the Conservatives who are here but have chosen not to stand. Thank you for all turning up to defend our democracy. Thank you. Because our democracy matters. And as an MP, I sit in Parliament and I sit on the opposition benches, normally in the same spots every day, and I look out on a sea of white, middle-class, straight men, and I think, this doesn't look like Plymouth. This doesn't look like the society we represent. We need our Parliament to be more fairer, more democratic, more representative of the communities it serves. We need more women in Parliament. We need more ethnic minorities. We need more disabled people. And perhaps in special reference to Anne Widdecombe, yes, we need more gay people as well. Because it is our diversity that makes us strong as a country. It is our diversity that makes us strong as a city. Now, be you on the left of politics, on the right of politics, the top of the bottom of it, it doesn't matter. Our democracy is something that we as a country have been proud of for centuries. And this is not normal, what's happening now. If you look at the front pages of papers right around the world, they are saying, what's going on in Britain? They're looking at us like, are you okay?
It's been like that
seem
since
to be
the start of
having a bit of a
Brexit.
funny turn. Is everything all right? And the answer is no, it's not all right. This is not normal, and we will make a stand for it. Because there are people who can't be with us here today who wanted to stand in solidarity with me, with the speakers, with all of you. There are people who voted Remain and voted Leave who want to see a democracy that is better than we have today. And I do as well. And that's not just because of Brexit. That's because of the NHS and austerity and universal credit.
But it's also because what happens here in Plymouth needs to have a voice. Now, some of you will know that over the past couple of weeks, I've been raising the case of Vanessa George in Parliament. That cruel paedophile that abused children in our city. The pressure that I put on the government there to raise that as an issue could not happen if Parliament wasn't sitting. Our issues matter. It's not just Brexit. It's not just Brexit. What happens in our city, in our politics, in our country needs to be raised and debated and discussed and scrutinised. And if Parliament is not sitting, there is no place for that to happen. Our voices as MPs don't get listened to, and that means I can't articulate your concerns as the people I represent. We need to defend our democracy. Comrades, there are a lot of people in this audience with grey hair, myself included, increasingly. But do you know what? There are an awful lot of young people here today as well. And to all those young people, I want to say that you are very welcome, because you will remember this protest, or you'll be told about it, that you were here by your parents. And you'll be told that you are on a protest to defend democracy. To defend something bigger than you, your parents, our city, to defend something that matters, that people have literally died for to win. Now, all those people who are here today, be they young or old, be they from Plymouth, Devon, Cornwall or further afield, we are all here today to defend our democracy. Now, Parliament changes, the MPs change. I represent a marginal seat. From 6 weeks' time, at any one point, I could lose my job, and we can have someone else representing this seat. That is democracy. That is the risk you take when you put yourself up for public office. And that means you have to make every single day count. And I want every single day now to be not only about standing up for Plymouth, it's about getting us our fair share, but to stand up to fight for that democracy, to fight for the rights of those people who are doing their counter arguments here today to elect whoever they want. Whoever you want, whoever we all want, because if we don't have the right to elect who governs us, to scrutinise their work, to hold them to account, we are not living in a democracy anymore. And we are living in a democracy, and the people must take back control from Boris Johnson. There's a few final things I just want to say before we finish today. And I will say thank you to all the people who have made placards for today. There are some that I want to read out, but not sure I should. There are some that articulate their hopes and the dreams, but there are many that show their fear, the genuine concern and the anger of people. Those placards must not just stand in public, they must go in your windows.
There is no
You must be kidding.
It's come together with the leaders and
He's a nutter.
people who vote, people who don't vote.
Yes, he's an idiot.
Just defend our democracy here today, because this matters. You matter. Our voice matters. So don't give up. Don't stop. Keep your pressure up. We need to do this. Thank you to PR1 Events for putting on our sound system today. We all would have lost our voices if it went for them and their little stage here. Thank you also to the police who are looking after us and keeping us all safe at these very difficult times here today. I echo what Sarah says, the West End Carnival there was wonderful. I was sense before we got here, what makes a very bizarre day for me. But do you know what? Each and every one of you is strong and powerful. And sometimes it feels that these issues are so big that we can't on our own do something about it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get a sense of helplessness. I feel that as well some days. I feel some days that actually it doesn't make a difference. But do you know what makes a difference? It's when those people who have a concern come together, where those people who are worried about it share that worry, where we club together, when we band together, when we realise that we are stronger together than we are alone. That is what the movement that has started because of Boris Johnson's about.
And it's not a Labour Party movement. It's not a Lib Dem movement. It's not a Green movement. It's not a Remain movement or a Leave movement. It is a British movement, proud of our democracy, wanting to make it better and reform it, yes, but make sure it happens. Make sure that Parliament sits, because I don't want a conference recess. And I hope that I'll be given an opportunity in the next week to go back to Parliament, to vote to keep the doors of Parliament open, to keep us sitting, to keep the government accountable. And in that Parliament, there are MPs like me that have concerns about what the government's doing, and there are MPs in that Parliament that justify and explain what the government's doing. And do you know what? Both of them are welcome in our democracy, because debate and discussion is good. Having strong views is good, but if you've got strong views, you have to be a strong listener as well. And that's what we need to have in our democracy. We need to have the power of debate. We need to have ideas that challenge and are scrutinised and tested. And we can't do that if Parliament is not sitting. So let's keep the pressure on. Let's make sure that that broken politics that we all want to change is protected in the fact that we can change it. We today are changing our politics. We are making it better. So each and every one of you, young or old, from Plymouth, Devon and Cornwall, Remainers or Leavers, Labour, Tories, Lib Dems, Greens or non-aligned, keep fighting to defend our democracy, keep fighting to defend it from Boris Johnson, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, and let's defend our democracy. Thank you for coming today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you! Thank you, Plymouth! Thank you, Devon! Thank you, Cornwall!